Hey, what's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? Well, I am coming in to formally introduce you guys to the new edition. Oh my goodness! This is Cameron Jordan. Oh my goodness. This is our little guy. He is almost 3 weeks. He'll be 3 weeks on Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. He is our veterans baby. He was born on Veterans Day, so 11/11/15. And he is such a joy. Look at him. Say hi, Cam. We call him Cam or KJ for short. Say hi. He's such a good baby. He nurses like crazy. Well, anyway, when he was born, he was 6'1". He was 6 pounds, 1 ounce, and 20 and a half inches long. And I had to get induced with him. He had flipped on his own because we were talking about, remember, I had to go back and get see if they can flip him again, but he was already flipped on his own. So they just went ahead, since I was 39 weeks already, they just went ahead and induced me, which that was very difficult. I labored for 14 hours. I was in labor for 14 hours, and I was stuck at 7 centimeters for a good I want to say about 5 hours. It was pretty tough, you guys, being stuck there. And I was stuck at 7 centimeters the whole time with no pain meds, no nothing. And I think I have told you guys my story before about the epidural. The epidural had been, wasn't working for me the last 2 times that I tried to get it done. So I didn't really want to do it this go around because I had this feeling it wasn't going to work again. But my husband, he was like, you're in so much pain, it doesn't hurt to try, especially if they're, going to offer it to you, and, you just don't know. Uh-oh, somebody's getting fussy. I'm going to pause the video because I think he probably wants to nurse. So just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. KJ wanted to go ahead and nurse. So anyway, I ended up getting the epidural, and it was kind of funny because I was telling the guy that does it, telling him my past experiences, my concerns and all that whatnot, and he took his time placing that epidural in my back, and I really appreciate. I mean, it took him quite a while to get it in, and it actually worked, you guys. It was so great. Oh my gosh, it was the biggest relief. Once the epidural kicked in, at that time, I think it was about 12-ish a.m. And from that point on, I just knocked out. I was just so tired. My husband knocked out as well. Just to let you guys know, they're gardening, they're mowing the lawns outside, so if you hear any extra little noise, I'm so sorry. I'll probably try to talk a little louder or bring your volume up if you can. So anyway, what was I saying? So I napped for a little while, maybe about an hour or so, not too long. But from that 7 centimeters, I jumped all the way up to 9. And then from there, my doctor, she just checked me. Well, when she was checking me to say I was 9, she just kind of helped it along and stretched me a little bit. So at that point, it was time to push. And it was only a couple pushes. I think my husband said about 4 to 5 pushes in. Cameron was out. And he was born at, the time he was born was 2:18 a.m. So like I said, he's our veterans baby, and he's such a blessing. He eats so well. I nurse, and he latches on no problem. He's such a good eater. And we had our 2-week appointment, and this little bugger gained a pound and a half. So yeah, he was 6'1" when he was born. Now I mean, well, I can't say now because we're almost 3 weeks, but at his 2 week appointment, he was 7 pounds, 7 pounds, 7 pounds and 4 ounces. I'm sorry, you guys. But anyway, he is such a joy. And okay, so as far as our children, our older two, Benjamin, Scarlett, it's kind of like nothing to them. Like, they're excited that he's here, but it's not something like where it's a big adjustment for the older two. It's more so of adjustment for Mason, which is our 2-year-old. And we were, concerned over how he was going to behave and act towards the baby. And let me tell you, he is so in love with Kameron. He calls him his baby. And if Kameron cries, he's always saying, "Daddy, daddy, baby, my baby." He's letting us know something's not right. So that is awesome. He like I said, he loves this little guy. So it's a blessing to know that Kameron has an older brother that's looking out for him. And I know that there's going to be some stuff down the line where they're going to get at each other, and that whole thing, because that's boys being boys and siblings being siblings. But as of now, Mason is so in love with Kameron. And how am I doing? Well, what can you say when you're breastfeeding? Ladies that have breastfed before, you guys already know the deal. The 2 to 3 hours, of sleeping, especially at night, having to adjust to that, all over again. Because Mason also was breastfed too. So, none of my babies ever been good sleepers at night. They like to wake up. Mason was the one that loved to wake up maybe about 4 to 5 times at night. Kameron, he wakes up about 2 to 3 times. So it's not as much as Mason, which I'm thankful for, but sometimes when I talk to some other ladies, they're always saying, yeah, my breastfed baby goes for a 5-hour stretch or 6-hour stretch at night. I'm like, what the heck is that like? And I'm concerned over that because I know my doctor has said don't let baby go over 3 to 4 hours, not nursing. So for the 5 to 6 hours, you guys let me know what the deal is on that. Like, how the heck does that work? But anyway, it's still a blessing, even waking up in the middle of the night, changing those poopy diapers and, all that bit. He's such a blessing, and I'm so glad to have another addition, to our family. We're all in love with him and all that good stuff. And now we did have a scare, when he was about a couple days old. Once we brought him home, and he sleeps on the side of our bed in his playpen bassinet. Well, what is it called? Pack and play now they call them, with the bassinet little attachment thing that's on top. So he sleeps in that next to our bed. And one night, I heard him choking. It was like he was trying to gasp for air. So I wake up and I see him, and he's just red and he's trying to breathe. It was like he was choking. And it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. About 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, I had fed him about 11 o'clock, and I made sure he, burped and everything. So I was wondering what's going on. So like I said, at this point, we're trying to help him, turning him to his side, patting him, and he's still trying to gasp for air. So I give him to my husband, and my husband's trying to help him out, as best as we can, and my husband was like, I don't know what to do. He goes, call 911. So we call 911. Paramedics, they're talking me through, what to do, put him to his side, and at this point, I don't even know how long this lasts for, but it felt so long. It was a horrible feeling. But at that point, when we were talking to the paramedics, Cameron started crying, just crying, crying. Milk was coming out of his nose. It looked like leftover milk was coming out of his nose, and we knew that he was getting some kind of air because he was crying, but it wasn't good. It just sounded like he was congested because he had that milk in his nose, and it was just not good. So paramedics got here. They checked him fully. At this point, Cameron was fine. He was breathing fine. Everything looked good. Paramedics was like, okay, you know what? He looks fine. But if you want peace of mind, we can take him to the hospital. So we went ahead and took him to our hospital here in San Diego. And they had Cameron on the monitors for overnight for some hours. And they just, constantly checked his heart, just everything. And Cameron was totally fine. We just kind of came to the conclusion, the doctor as well, is, Cameron's going to have to be elevated slightly. He cannot be laid on his back because he's little. He's learning how to, digest his food and, just that whole bit. And, so right now we have him elevated just a little bit, not to the point that he's like, sitting up, but after he eats, I make sure I burp him and I just sit him up, whether he's in his swing or in a chair or, something that he can sit up for a while. Yeah, it makes at nighttime a little harder for me because I have to sit up, with Cameron, but I don't care. With that episode that we had, that was the most scariest thing that one of the most scariest things that we experienced with our children. And not ever wanting to experience that crap ever again. So that was a scare that we had, and we're thankful that we got through it. We know what to do now. I even watched a CPR class, even though in the past I was certified CPR for children and, children and infants. It was good to watch that video again to be reassured. And actually, I think I want my husband to watch that video. But anyway, that was a little scare that we had, and praying to God that we don't ever experience anything like that ever again with any of our children not breathing. So, yes. Okay, so anyways, this video is not going to be about me. It's just obviously it's about Cameron. Maybe I'll do a separate video next on myself. What my body looks like and that whole thing and how I'm recovering and all that, because it is baby number 4. So it's a little bit harder to bounce back. But anyway, yeah. So what else is going on with Mr. Cams? I mean, he's a newborn still, so all he does is eat, sleep, poop, and that whole thing. So he's just so cuddly now. All we do is just give him kisses. And he is experiencing baby acne. All my kids experience this baby acne. I'm not sure. Let me pause this. Let me pull my boob in. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. He was done. Well, done for now. That's another thing. He cluster feeds. So if you guys don't know what that means, he'll feed, maybe he'll eat for about 5-10 minutes sometimes. I'll burp him, he'll fall asleep, and then maybe 30 minutes or so he wants to eat again on the other side. So that's what cluster feeding is constantly eating. But anyway, what else? Like I said, baby acne. All my kids had it. No cradle cap I see going on the head. I don't think I'm going to see it quite yet if it does show up. But hardly any of my kids had it really bad. Cameron. There we go, baby. Yes, let's angle you this way so they can see your face. Yes. This is my little guy. We love him so much. But anyway, you guys, that's about it, you guys. I will be doing his monthly updates. Like I said, he's coming up on 3 weeks on Wednesday. Today is Monday. So, I'll do his monthly update soon. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on this little joy that we have, please put down below. All right, talk to you guys soon. Say bye, Cam. He's so sleepy. Okay.